I wasn't one of those kids who grew up thinking I wanted to be a firefighter, but the more I heard them talk about it, the more that it sounded like just a great experience. So I was originally hired on in 1994 and I retired in 2018. I was 48 when I left. So as it started coming up for my retirement, I owned a gym on the side of the fire department, and I just at the time thought, okay, I'm going to step into this other life and just run the gym full time. There were some nerves about leaving the fire department, but being that I was already running the gym on my days off, it was just like stepping into something I was already doing. So I wasn't that nervous at first. No one really knew how big of a deal it was at the time for me to leave the fire department. It was who I was. It's still kind of who I am. As I got close to retirement, I remember thinking what a strange feeling it was as I was going out on those last few calls to think, wow, this is going to be the last time I pull this door open as a firefighter. I think for me, knowing that I had the gym was huge. It made it much easier to leave because I was already doing that while I was on the fire department, so it helped a lot. Sitting around on the couch and watching TV and playing golf every day, it works for some people, but the majority of people, I would say that's not a good plan. So I retired with PTSD from the Oklahoma City bombing. I was visiting with a counselor over a period of several months. He told me that I would no longer be able to be on the rigs anymore, that it was time for me to go like that day. It was over right then. My retirement was already being planned and in the works, but it was cut a bit short. Hearing from someone else that it's over and not deciding that for myself was but like I said, having the gym at the time made the landing a little softer. It made it a little bit easier to step out of the fire service because I already knew where I was going. Throughout my career, I worked with a number of firefighters who suffered through injuries, who suffered through mental issues, who unfortunately turned to other means to deal with all of those things. They were afraid if they talked about it with someone higher up in the department that it would mean that their career would be cut short. In many instances, first responders die within the first 5 to 7 years after their retirement. I'm 5 years out from retiring, and earlier this year, I suffered a cardiac arrest. God still had another purpose for me. The only thing that's been really clear to me is that I'm supposed to help people. Now through Jeff and the On-Call Project, I potentially have another way to help even more people. I think if OCP would have been around when I left the fire service, it would have helped in that transition. It would have made my footing more sure as I stepped into that world. I just was kind of winging it. I was doing it all on my own. I just knew that I'm gonna go work in this other business, and that was my plan. But if I had gone through a program like OCP, I may have been more prepared when I closed the gym during the time of COVID and stepped into a new role in business. That was something I had to learn on my own, and it was very challenging. Someone like OCP would have been able to help me make connections to make that a little bit easier. Whenever you're not a first responder anymore, it's okay. It will always be a part of you, but there is another life waiting for you to step into, and you still have a lot of time left to be able to grow into a new role. For businesses who may be considering first responders, you're getting some of the most responsible, reliable, confident people that I can possibly think of to bring into your business. I can't think of a better group of people to choose from. First responders are trusted. What they bring to the table can help your business grow, and they would be a valuable asset to you. The On-Call Project is something that is much needed to help people make that transition. They could use your donation to help them grow, to be able to reach more first responders as they step out into their next life.